You are listening to Claret and Blue, an Aston Villa podcast brought to you by Birmingham Live.
Hello, welcome back to the Claret and Blue podcast, our second upload of the day. Aston Villa have signed another player, so here we are to talk about it. Diego Carlos joins Aston Villa from Sevilla. This will be a little whirlwind 10-15 minute episode. I don't know what's going on. It's another one of Aston Villa's specialities, pulling out a transfer out of nowhere pretty much. I was pretty much on the way out the door here myself, on the way to Tesco to get some stuff for my tea. And I get a few texts pop through saying Aston Villa signed somebody. Yeah, let's mobilise back into work mode. I'm joined by Ashley Priest. Ash, talk me through the last half an hour or so.
Just Steven Gerrard's on a mad one. Just put it as that.
Basically, yeah.
He really is. Spoke to him last week. He wants to get fans excited with the acquisitions he's bringing in. And Diego Carlos certainly does that, mate. 29-year-old, been around the block. He knows Douglas Luiz quite well. He's a fellow Olympic gold medal winner with Douglas last summer. But yeah, this is a player of real calibre, real stature, really physical, really aggressive. A winner. Gerrard wants winners, Dan. And Diego Carlos ticks a lot of boxes. £26 million, we're hearing, which decent. Is, on the face of it, decent value, similar to what Villa brought Tyrone Mings in for. And a penny for Tyrone Mings' thoughts here, because obviously Diego Carlos is a left-sided centre-back. He's right-footed, but he likes to play on the left-hand side. And I think Gerrard's sent a bit of a shockwave through the Villa dressing room with the announcement of this one. Huge. To get it done so quickly as well. We heard the murmurings yesterday that Villa were keen on it. 24 hours later, deal done, near enough. So they're not messing around. It becomes the third summer signing, as we know, after Philip Coutinho and Boubacar Kamara. Just them three calibre of players.
Yeah,
one of the best players
next level, isn't it? Next level.
It's crazy. Villa finished 14th last season, Dan. 14th.
Well, you say last season as if we were like the season was 3 months ago. Like the season finished 4 days ago, and we've signed two, really high-profile players straight away. Boubacar Kamara on Monday and then Diego Carlos on Thursday. Loads of comments flying through. People saying things like Villa are massive. Joe B says, should I book the European tickets yet? I'm going to hold off just for now, but it's promising, isn't it? Pat Rowe raved about him in a couple of articles, which I'll put in the comments in a second. And I think he'll be doing a Facebook Live tomorrow. He's watched a few of his games in the full 90 minutes. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I've watched him, that I know anything about him. People, again, like I said with Kamara, people I trust who do know what they're talking about, think he's a good player, and I kind of think that's enough for me until I see him in a Villa shirt. I kind of want to branch this discussion off into a couple of different areas, how it affects Villa in a different way, rather than kind of profile the player, because as I've just said, seems decent, but I've not watched him play, so I don't feel I can talk with any kind of honesty kind of thing. Let's talk about Tyrone Mings and the rest of the centre-backs then, and the people that are already there before we get into the other side of it. That's Tyrone Mings, Ezri Konsa, Diego Carlos, Courtney Hawes and Callum Chambers so far. Still lots to talk about. Tarkowski on a free as well. So that's 6 centre-halves, goes into 2. I'm going to throw a rogue shout that we maybe play 3 at the back, and maybe you do need more centre-backs, but that would surprise me. So how do you assess the kind of centre-back situation, first of all, when I read those 5 names to you?
I just don't think Gerrard's here to mess around and to play games and to be all friendly, pally with your Tyrone Mingses and stuff. We've seen that about a couple of months ago now. He said the captaincy's up in the air for the summer. He wants to appoint his new captain, which is pretty damning if you're Tyrone Mings already. So the writing was on the wall in that sense. But like you say, Gerrard has liked Mings. But if you look at the defence, for me, Dan, I think Gerrard's been so annoyed with the mistakes that have crept in. They've been costly mistakes. He wants to rub them out from the off. But yeah, you look at it, I think Courtney Hawes' future now. I think he'll head out. And you'd say possibly Tyrone Mings, maybe. But last few games of the season, Dan, Villa had 2 fit centre-halves in Chambers and Mings. So Gerrard wants more options in that part of the defence. He wants to fight on 3 fronts next season, both Cups and Premier League. So he wants options there. I wouldn't be surprised if there was 5 centre-backs at the club. He's talking Diego Carlos, Tyrone Mings, Ezri Konsa, James Tarkowski. That's a very possible one. And Callum Chambers to float around, maybe playing that 6. You can push Kamara up there now and again. Gerrard wants loads of options to work with. He wants that fierce competition within his squad as well. But like you say, I think this signing has sent shockwaves around the dressing room for me. Conte and Mings are thinking now, blimey, we could be in trouble next season in terms of starting. So, like we say, we forget about this. Ezri Konsa's injured at the moment, Dan. 3 months out, it's looking like. So, it'll take a bit of time to get back up to full speed. But yeah, this is a real statement signing. I thought Boubacar Kamara was, but this one, given the amount of interest and how highly rated he is over in Spain, and how quickly did it as well, just sends a penny for the other Premier League clubs' thoughts as well. They must sit up and recognise now what I'm going to do here.
I had a message from my Newcastle counterpart, the multimedia producer up at the Chronicle, Andrew Musgrove, who's done some podcasts, to be fair, when we've played Newcastle. He messaged me just after the announcement saying, can you stop nicking all our transfer targets, please? So Newcastle were also heavily linked with him and Kamara. You just name those 5 centre-backs, potentially Tarkowski or Courtney Hall, I suppose, if it's going to be one or the other. 3 of those 5 are going to have to sit on the bench for a vast majority of the season. If the 2 are playing well and don't get injured, you don't rotate centre-backs just for fun. So I don't really see any of those being that happy to sit on the bench, besides maybe Chambers and Tarkowski. Mings, going from captain this season, is not going to want to sit on the bench for the vast majority of next season. So there is going to be these arguments over the next few weeks or months, or however long Tyrone Mings is still here. For all we know, the way Villa operate, Tyrone Mings could be gone tomorrow, the way things move, although that would be a massive shock. But we're kind of, the caveat to that is, yes, Ezri Konsa might be the one that wants to stick around and fight for his place, better age profile, but also have his, out for a decent injury. There's no kind of guarantee that he comes back fit and fighting, ready to go in 3 months. Or is even to the level of the same player when he comes back either. So maybe Tyrone Mings does stick around as that kind of third choice. It's difficult, isn't it? It's going to be an interesting headache for Gerrard to solve, because if he can keep those players happy to sit around on the bench, that is a different matter. But from the outside looking in, you think Tyrone Mings going from captain to bench warmer isn't going to sit well with him. And Ezri Konsa, although he didn't have a great season, the season just gone, highly rated, wants to get in the England squad, he's also not going to want to sit on the bench. So it is a juggling act.
There's a drastic shift in transfer policy here. Previously, Villa got promoted. They signed decent players, would you say? Conte and Brentford. And that cycle's changing now. We're signing players who played in the Champions League, Europa League, who've been around the block, who've clocked up hundreds of appearances for their clubs, and are big players at the clubs as well. Diego Carlos, part of the defence last season, La Liga, conceded the fewest goals, alongside his mate Koundé as well. So, but yeah, with Konsa, Dan, Gerrard looked me in the eye. I'm in Konsa's form. I questioned, is there a chance of Konsa perhaps being moved on? He said no. Konsa has a big future here next season. He'll go into pre-season. He'll reset and be a big player for us. So I'm pretty confident that'll be the case. I think I believe in Konsa. He had a dip in form last season, as we know, but I think he'll get back fully fit and be be a contender again. But yeah, like you say, it's a bit of an uncertain time for Tyrone Mings, Courtney Hall, like you've said. I think Gerrard's love the addition of Callum Chambers. I think that's been a very, very good one. And yeah, this Diego Carlos one just raises the bar again. It really does. I mean, he's built like a heavyweight boxer, Dan. I don't know if you've seen him.
He's massive, isn't he? Yeah. I think he's only 6'1", but he looks big. He looks bulky.
Yeah, he's like Anthony Joshua size, and I think Villa missed that aggressiveness, that physicality to mix it up a little bit. Been a bit frail at times. We've seen the defence on Sunday. I know it was against Man City, but to concede 3 in 6 minutes, come on, you need big players to stand up and be a presence and just be a bit bullish and be a bit nasty to the opposition. I think that Villa are missing that nastiness to go out and just dig in for a 1-0. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Away from home, I think we need to start to do that. That physicality. I remember watching Christian Romero for Tottenham at Villa Park, and he was just shoving Villa players out the way, pushing, shoving. I want to see a bit of that from the Villa lot as well going into next season. I think Diego Carlos is your man to do that. Leaders, winners, those obsessed with keeping the ball at the net, I think is your boy. So yeah, on the face of it, £26 million looks a steal. I know he's 29, but he's coming in. He'll be a first name on the team sheet. So yeah, you do wonder, don't you, what the situation unfolds for your Tyrone Mings. That's the big question mark over him with this deal. I think Villa still hold an interest in Jan Tarkowski. As we know, that could be a little shrewd one as well. But yeah, Villa aren't messing around. I mean, to get deals done so swiftly.
I mean, the transfer window isn't officially open yet.
No. we've been days into the season finished on Sunday. Monday, Kamara announced. Thursday, Diego Carlos announced.
If the season was still going on and you were playing weekend to weekend, you could be saying that in the space of a week's training and getting prepared for the next game, Villa signed 2 elite, potentially level players to come in and improve the first team. And that's been the important thing for this summer, same as last. Somebody put it in a YouTube comment a couple of podcasts ago. I don't know who it was off the top of my head. But I think we were talking about, trying to improve the squad as a whole and who do you replace and those kind of things. And you've got to kind of have the continuity that you did in 2020, 21, I think it would be, that you sign like Watkins, Cash, and they come in to start in the first team, and the players they replace become your bench players. And you do the same this year that, excuse me, Kamara comes in to replace Luiz, for example, and Luiz drops down to the bench, and I almost said Douglas Luiz then. Diego Carlos, not similar at all, apart from being Brazilian. Diego Carlos comes in and Ezri Konsa becomes your bench man, and that's how you improve your squad. It's not selling Tyrone Mings, replacing him, and then you've got, you're still left with Courtney Hawes as your backup. You've got to have that strength in depth, and that's what Villa are clearly trying to do. I'm going to level a potentially hypothetical scenario at you here with Diego Carlos, being linked to Newcastle potentially. Villa swooping in and getting the man instead. Tyrone Mings to Newcastle for 25-30 million. Villa make their money back on the centre half and improve things in one fell swoop.
You could see that, but you could see that he works with Eddie Howe before, got a good relationship with Eddie Howe.
He sold him, didn't he, I think?
He sold him as well. But and then they've got Dan Burn up there, big left-footed centre-back, I think. I'm not sure on that one. But like with him coming in, raises the bar. You can't afford to be a 6 out of 10 1 week now. You come out of the team because you've got players chomping at the bit to get in there. And I just think Gerrard is on a mission to really drastically improve the starting 11. He wanted a better spine, didn't he? I think Martinez, Diego Carlos, Kamara. He's halfway there with that one.
Yeah.
Got a funny feeling about Luis Suarez. What about him? Will he experience again? I'm a funny feeling about that one, where that comes off, because Gerrard wants options all across the pitch. So, yeah, signing number 3 this one. You could easily see 6 coming in, another 3 more all day long. And the way Villa are acting so quickly, they're beating the market as well. They're beating clubs to the punch, as it were. So, yeah, he's Basuma, another one at Brighton. Gerrard wants a new number 8 in there. But I think attention turns now to shifting the fringe players out as well. That's got to happen.
I was going to say, a lot of wages being paid now, especially with the free transfers in Kamara and potentially Tarkovsky. People making a lot of the wages that are being offered to these free agents, but you kind of expect players to earn more because there's no transfer fee and those kind of things. So a lot of wages being paid out now, and a lot of wages being paid out to players who have no future at Aston Villa. So we've got to find suitors for them and get them off the books to kind of balance things out. I'm trying to think, roughly of how many more positions are needed. You mentioned Suarez, which I could definitely see as a Watkins, Ings, Suarez, Archer as your 4 into 2 up front. Yeah. Basuma, an option. Calvin Phillips, probably less likely now with the Leeds not being relegated. But Basuma, Kamara, Douglas, Diego Carlos. I keep wanting to say Douglas. It's been a long 24 hours, I will say. Diego Carlos, Suarez up front, maybe another attacking kind of midfielder, maybe. I don't know. A left back, backup goalkeeper. There's still potentially options that need filling out. I put a link, by the way, to Pat's article. He's kind of low down on Carlos, which is a very good piece from him. And like I said, he's seen him more than I have. The one thing that I think a lot of people will probably do if they're like me is have a quick Wikipedia search. And Wikipedia is, obviously, we all know, the fountain of knowledge. Okay. There's just one piece in there that just made me laugh. I'm going to read it out. Well, from Sevilla, Diego Carlos was part of the club's successful 2019-20 UEFA Europa League campaign. In the run-up to the final, he conceded penalties in both of Sevilla's quarter-final and semi-final matches against Wolves and Man United, respectively, and then also gave away a penalty early on in the final itself against Inter Milan. But he did have a hand in the game-winning goal as his overhead kick was turned into the net by Romelu Lukaku. It's chaos, just based off that paragraph.
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah, he's got it all. But yeah, like you say, that brings that aggressiveness we lack, Dan, for me.
Yeah.
Just to rub your opponent up the wrong way and that will to win, I guess, and kick the ball out the back of the net. So yeah, he's got some weaknesses, some strengths, but on the whole, you look at the Sevilla reaction, look at the reaction from Newcastle fans, devastated, because he was their number one target in January as well. That fell through. And Villa have swooped, not messing around. Johan Langer, Christian Perslow, and Steven Gerrard, huge credit to pull this one off. One of the most high-profile centre-backs in Europe, given his the defensive stats last season. Part of the best defence in Spain with Sevilla. So, yeah, Europa League winner. He's a winner, and that's what Gerrard wants. And, yeah, I mean...
Played a lot of football as well. He's pretty much an ever-present, isn't he, in the last 2 or 3 years?
He's a 35-game-a-season merchant all day long.
Yeah.
Like I say, he's built like a boxer, and he comes in and just raises that profile again. So, yeah, penny for the thoughts of the Tyrone Mings, Ezri Konsa's and stuff. But Gerrard's man on a mission. I think we can say that, can't we?
Yeah. What do you make of the age, just quickly moving away from the profile of kind of young players with resale value? You know, if we get 2 or 3 good years out of Carlos, we're not going to make any profit on him at his age. I also kind of think he's 29. Like, that's not old, especially for a centre half. I mean, I'm not comparing him to Thiago Silva, but still doing the business for Chelsea at 36, 37.
Exactly that. Yeah.
I mean, 29 it's not ancient, is it? Come on.
Now you're in your prime, 29. I think he turns 30 in next March, so he's in his prime now. And Villa are moving quickly to get him in. And the players playing at the peak, and that's what you want to bring in. Players you can slot in straight away and get results. Push Villa up the table instantly. They can't afford to wait around and let players bed in. Oh, we need 10 games to get up to speed and get used to the league and the demands. We want players in now who can go and turn over the big boys and help Villa in that sense. So, like you said, I think Villa are signing players in the prime. I know Kamara's only 22, but he's one of the best European young players in Europe at present, according to Gerrard as well. And Pat's raved about him on here before as well. So, yeah, but when Gerrard first come in his interview process, he said, Christian, I want to raise the age profile. Too many youngish players here, no experience. I think Cash, Watkins, they came from the Championship. They've had a year or 2 in the Premier League. I want to raise the age profile. Players who have been in Europe, players who have played at big clubs with big expectation, because Villa is a big club with big expectation. We've seen that this season, finishing 14th, and all the fans have been disappointed, and rightly so. But now, I think the shift has changed dramatically. The new cycle, I think, like a new cycle. You got the promotion lads and the lads who kept the Villa in the league, and now it's heading towards that. The 5-year project under Nassef and Wes, the 5th year is Europe, and these signings now, I know I'm getting carried away a little bit, but huge statements. They really are. And cue the end of season podcast next season when we finish 12th, yeah. But listen.
Well, yeah, we did our end of season show yesterday. I worked late last night and early this morning to get that out quickly, because you kind of feel like with Villa doing the Kamara deal so quick, you don't want that to be out of date. I wanted to, get a good run up at that. So that came out this morning. We were recording that yesterday when the links to Carlos first came out, and you kind of just think, oh yeah, that sounds decent. But we'll kind of look into that as and when we get back to work. 24 hours later, he's signed and we'll be in the shirt soon, hopefully, like Kamara. They didn't announce him with the shirt pictures or anything, did they? I think it was the later in the day or the next day. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know whether Gerrard says it specifically about Villa, but he certainly said it about his Rangers days, about offering the players no excuses, when he talked about up in the training ground and the canteen and everything up in Scotland. So the players have got no excuses. I kind of feel like that is the same attitude here with transfer business done early. You don't want to be signing someone on deadline day, and then they've got these excuses of not being settled into the league. They haven't moved over here yet. They don't know the language. Boubacar Kamara and Douglas Carlos know that. Carlos know that I'm just going to get rid of the first name, Diego, just Carlos. They know in May, early May, late May, whenever it was that they were first approached by Villa, you're moving to England next season. Get yourself ready for it. Get yourself in. You're going to be there on pre-season day 1. No excuses. And that's what I want. A proper, smart, professional club gets their business done early. All this faffing around, all this yellow tie, deadline day nonsense. Get your men, get them in, get them ready, and start winning games ASAP. Because Villa, basically, in my opinion, and we'll get into this in the next couple of months when the season starts, I feel like you have to get to Europe next season to match the ambitions of the players that you're signing. So Villa have to hit the ground with no excuses, and hopefully that's what we see.
Yeah, 100%. Just really winding back to last summer, it was quite chaotic, wasn't it? We had that long running saga with obviously Grealish. We had the James Ward-Prowse stuff that dragged on. Emile Smith-Rowe. It was all very just dragged on, and I think that ate away into the summer, and then, hence the slow start we had. So getting things in order so quickly in May, pre-season starts in July, is incredible, really. And like you say, that no excuses, not at all. And Gerrard's big word at the moment is have a purpose and be obsessed with being better than your peers as well. And I just think it raises standards straight away. So the rest, it sends a big message to the rest of the league as well. I know we've said that before with deals bringing in, but it's huge, this one. Like you say, and get Kamara as well. He swapped Champions League football to come to Villa. I think it just shows everything about the pull Gerrard has. Gerrard had a big say in the Kamara deal. He would have had a massive say in this one as well. And under the previous regime, it wouldn't have happened. So Villa kicking into a new gear under Gerrard. Long may it continue. And I got a feeling we haven't even touched the service yet in terms of deal. I can see 3 or 4 coming in easily. A lot of players shipped out. A lot of the fringe players of Deadwood moved on. And the squad shaping is very exciting for me, Dan. 3 in already, and really high caliber players. So, yeah, incredible work, Villa, and the excitement's building. I don't know what the fans are saying in the comments, Dan, but it's just crazy.
There's loads of stuff. There's comment from Brett here. There's still no chance of Europe. We can't beat any top 5 teams. That's home and away. That alone is 30 points. Yeah, but if you beat the other 14 home and away every game, then you will get in there. That's the aim. Beat everybody else. They'll be better next year. They won't do what they did this year. I don't think they've got to be better. They've got to have standards raised, and you can already see that Gerrard is doing that. You know, he's I've said a few times, you know, he's come out and gave these good kind of pithy lines to the press and stuff about, you know, feeling hurt and wanting to be better. But, you know, we're 4 days post-season and we've signed 2 players, so he's backing up his word so far, and hopefully they do all hit the ground running. But yeah, a lot of people saying things like Champions League next season, Villa are massive, what a start to the pre-season, etc., etc. So a lot of positivity, a lot of people watching. But I think that's pretty much it, really, for this kind of quick reaction podcast. If we don't do anything tomorrow, because I'm off, Pat might do something. If not, you know, we'll be doing the chat most weeks anyway. So we'll catch up again next week. We'll probably sign another couple of players by the time I'm back on shift on Monday, to be fair. So yeah, plenty to talk about. Ash, thanks for your time for jumping on at late notice as always. And thanks to the 700 people that are watching this live for tuning in to our thoughts as well. As I said, enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll be back next week. Thank you for watching.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening to Claret and Blue, an Aston Villa podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please do let us know. We love hearing your feedback. We'll be back soon with another episode, but until then, up the Villa.